The year is 2014. After a long journey to the planet Mars, space pioneers Julia Eichen and Caitlin Quirk have returned to America, but not the America they know as home.
Flashback to 1862. The South has just won the Civil War. In a devastating defeat, the Union fails to keep the states together. The country splits apart.
When we landed on Earth, the United States appeared to be in disarray, yet no one seemed to notice it but us.
After observing what the United States had become, we thought it best to find what went wrong. Every history book that we could get our hands on showed us that the South had won the Civil War.
But what happened? The war had ended just as it started. While the North was expecting an easy victory, the South came ready to fight. At Bull Run, Southern troops had pushed Union soldiers back to Washington, D.C. and captured the Capitol. The war was over, and Northerners were shocked. Everything had changed. Landing at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, we found we weren't even in the USA. We had landed in the Confederate States of America, the CSA. We returned to a new country in Reconstruction.
A second civil war had ravaged the land, ending 4 years ago. Fighting yet again about the issue of slavery, many in the CSA died for their cause. After the Civil War ended in 1862, the CSA made slavery illegal, while what was left of the Union split off, formed their own government, and abolished slavery. Because slavery in the CSA has just now ended, segregation is plentiful. Facilities separate black from white, and racism plagues the streets. Terrorist threats from Klans cause African Americans to be in constant fear. The KKK is resurfacing as the country suffers. Civil rights are limited for blacks and women as they're not allowed to vote but are considered citizens. In the CSA, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were never created, and the struggle for suffrage has just now begun. Blacks are unofficially considered citizens because the process of creating a bill is progressing slowly. Yet this second Civil War ended to abolish slavery. The issue of women's rights is very controversial in the men-controlled CSA. Women and their children are escaping the CSA and fleeing to the USA, where they are considered equal.
It seems that the USA and CSA are not the political and economical powerhouses of the America we had left. The USA struggled to provide valuable exports directly after the war, as the country had no cotton to thread in the textile mills when the South separated into the CSA. However, the USA has economically advanced far greater than the CSA and has become the technology hub of the world. The Union realized they did not have enough land or manpower to farm, so the USA turned to technology. Developing innovative technology became their greatest export. The CSA, however, stuck with their roots and produced more cotton than ever. As the USA refused to thread the South's cotton, the CSA built factories and textile mills in the territories they claimed after winning the Civil War. But this was not a wise decision, as the world advanced and the South struggled to keep up. Because of the recent end of yet another civil war for the CSA, great debt and economical struggles are evident throughout the country. Years ago, when the CSA allowed slavery, many liberal countries refused to trade. Therefore, the CSA has never grown to its full economical potential.
After the first Civil War, Jefferson Davis assumed the presidential role and nominated the well-respected Robert E. Lee as vice president. When we returned, however, we discovered that Democrat Harry Reid is filling the position. Because slavery has just ended, Barack Obama would never even been considered as president. At this time in Reconstruction, many bills and laws are being passed around in the Confederate government. Reconstruction after the Second Civil War is a long process, considering that the CSA was founded with the base of legal slavery. The government is suffering because of this, and is working to find compromises. In the USA government, affairs are less controversial. With Newt Gingrich as president, the union has made good choices and is doing well protecting its citizens. All foreign affairs are handled positively, even though the USA, being such a small country, is a target for threats.
Although the USA has powerful military forces, the safety of its citizens was greatly threatened after the Civil War ended in 1862. This is because outer countries wanted to take advantage of the small and war-ridden, therefore vulnerable country. This would gain the outer countries land and political power. The military fought back and defended its country. As the USA gained power with technology exports, they became more respected by aggressive countries. The CSA was never in jeopardy because of its size and military power. When the CSA won the First Civil War, they quickly claimed all the territories that had formerly belonged to the Union.
These new countries we are immersed in prove to show us the difference that occurred with the change of one victory. With the South winning the Civil War, civil rights have slowed in progress and slavery resurfaced as an issue. Poverty is far greater now, and the economical and political roles of both countries have shifted.
This is not just one country anymore, but a country divided.